When you guys first met, I mean, obviously back in NWA days, were you always friends with Lex? Were you guys like always had a good relationship or no?
Not really. In fact, people, I know we'll give in the show notes, you'll give some links to where people can learn more, whether it's about Man Camp, my podcast, and books I've written,
Yep.
and everything else. But there's a video, there's an interview that about maybe a 2-minute interview, and he had made reference to back in those days. We were wrestling peers. We were on a professional level, not so much on a personal level. Respected each other, of course, and he would say more than anything, we were just work co-workers. We were co-laborers in the wrestling world, and my introduction to him was, dropping the U.S. heavyweight title to him in a cage in Greensboro, North Carolina. That was my introduction. We go on to have a lot more matches against each other and throughout the career. And then really, when I left wrestling in 1993, I didn't see him for nearly right around 11 years. Right around 11 years. So he went one way, I went the other way. I went down this path, getting engaged in essentially full-time ministry. He continued on with his amazing wrestling career. And then in June of 2006, about 2 months after a jail chaplain, after his last time in jail. I mean, if you don't know Lex's full story, you're out there and you want to know more, go pick up a copy of his book, Wrestling with the Devil. You'll hear his whole life story. And through that decision in April of 2006, we were reconnected at a Christian athletes conference in Phoenix. And from that moment on, in June of 2006, we built a relationship, a friendship, a brotherhood, if you will, that has lasted till this day.
Yeah, because you always hear stories about Lex back then, like, oh, he didn't get along with this guy or that guy. So it's just funny to see like he's completely different as far as everybody says, like, oh, he's so much different than he was back in the day. He was very focused on himself back then, and back when you guys were feuding, even.
Right, and what I like to say it this way, John, he is evidence of a changed life, and so anyone who has had a true encounter, in my experience, anyone who's had a true encounter with Jesus, you're going to see that evidence of a changed life. Yeah, he'll be the first to tell you back then it was really his world. You were just living in it. He had what he called flex time. You were on his time. You were on flex time. And I'm probably one of the few who actually did like him back in those days. believe it or not. We did travel some together, not a whole lot, but there were a few trips we took together to towns, and so began to build a foundation on the relationship we have now. But for the most part, when he portrayed, what was it, the narcissist up in the WWF?
Yep.
I mean, that was not far from the truth. So what you saw in that character, in a sense, was kind of him, outside the ring. And so, you meet him now. Anyone who knew him then, and you meet him now, there's no way you can't walk away going, he's a different guy. He is not the same man.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.